Hello everyone, Emmy Lou here. Day 2 of the projects that I want to do with you. I'm gonna do something kind of cool today. It's I've got some music on. I'm just being all. I want to show you something. It's Paul Cézanne. Paul Cézanne was a French artist. He's not alive anymore. He did lots of still life. So he did things to do with things that don't basically move because they're still. So apples, bottle of wine, jugs, lots of, what are they called? Lots of tablecloths. So there's another one that he did. So these are copies. So these are actual pictures that he painted, but obviously I've printed them off. And this one's kind of cool. Quite like this one. So Paul Cézanne, I think he actually knew Van Gogh. I can't think today. I hope you've all had a nice Monday and Tuesday's looking good for you. So he did lots of fruit. Now, because he did lots of fruit, I thought it'd be really fun today to draw something that's basically an onion. I thought we could draw an onion. I thought we could draw a clementine, and I thought we could draw a mushroom because it's quite different, and also I've eaten everything else. I don't have any apples left, so I was like, okay, let's get an orange. Now I wanted to show you what I've been painting because I painted them a while back and it was so cool. I did like a painting a day. So what you could do is do a painting a day, so then when you do go back to school, you'll be so used to doing art that it will come so naturally to you when you do art at the school. So this is my lemons in a glass jar. It didn't actually take me that long. It's funny because the hardest ones, I guess the ones that look hard I seem to do quick, and the ones that look easy, it took me ages. Didn't enjoy doing this one. It was my peppers. Do like a pepper. And then these were just a collection of apples that I no longer have because I've eaten them. So there was apples. Could go anyway, couldn't it? Upside down. So it's quite fun to paint the whole picture of just one fruit or one vegetable. So let's make a start. We need some paper. It's always good. We need paper and a pencil. So, right, everything that's organic, so everything that grows, normally is not rounded, but it's not an exact square, and nothing's perfect, which I love. So, if we take this orange, if we take this clementine, what shape is it? It's kind of obvious, but what shape is it? Because it's not a full circle, is it? It's kind of like that. So it's almost like a circle on its side. So we're going to draw a squish circle, I suppose a little bit like an oval. And then what you want to do is find the top of the orange, if you've all got an orange hopefully, or a clementine. Oranges are more rounder. And we're just going to draw the little bobbly bit, and this is the bit where the stalk goes in, so it feeds the fruit. So once we've done that, you're going to look at it, really look at it. Like, really look at it, try not to eat it. So look at it and think, okay, it's got, for me, it's got some lines. This is actually called observational drawing. And observational means you're looking at it, so you're observing the fruit. So you might know that already, but if you don't, it's always good to know. So observe the fruit, really look at it and think, okay, what's on it, what's on it? We were taught in university for my interior design degree to look at things. So if you've got a chair, really look at it and then draw it, because then you understand how it's made. So with a fruit, it's quite good because you can understand how to draw it. If you look at it, you can understand the colours and how you're going to colour it in. So once you've done that, it's got bubbles, hasn't it? It's got some almost like on your skin. I can't think of the word, if I'm honest. Can't think at all at the moment. I've eaten too many apples. It's got pores, I suppose you could say. Not pores like that, but it's got bubbles. And you don't have to do them everywhere. You'll be here till Christmas. Hopefully we won't all be in our houses till Christmas, which I'm sure we won't, so don't panic. Yeah. So we're gonna just go la la la. Might do a penguin next week. Not next week, tomorrow. If you want to draw a penguin, because we did that in some of the classes, but I think it'd be nice to maybe do it again because they looked awesome. Really good. So you're just drawing the texture on them. If you see any bobbles or any bits of colour, don't worry. You can add it if you want, but you don't have to. Now, once we've done the clementine, you can eat it. We can just keep it. Now we want to do the onion. Now, the onion's kind of round, but it's still oval. So we're going to put it somewhere. Where can we put the onion? I'm going to put the onion kind of next to here. So you want to do this. This is a really cool trick. Just draw the onion. But when it comes to there, do like super light. It's basically so you're not drawing on top of here, but you know what the shape is. My onion's very wonky. Sorry. Now, when you've done the onion shape, think of like touch that bit there, and you're going to go, wee. Touch that bit there, and you go, wee. Because the onion has this bit. It's quite cool. And you can have a go at how you want to create that, but if you do that a bit like a tree upside down, it's kind of cool. So there's your onion. Your onion definitely looks wonky at the moment, but don't worry. At the bottom, you've got like hair. It's not hair, is it? You've got like the roots. So we could just do a couple of roots. And now if you look at it, mine's a red onion, but you might have a white onion, which is fine. You've got all these different skins that are coming off, so you can do a line there and just do that, because then it looks like the skin's peeling off. You don't want to be eating an onion raw, really. It's not very nice. Now I'm doing lines that reminds me of a hot air balloon. It's because there's lines on the onion. You can't, I think I've drawn on my top. You can't see the lines very well. Yeah, so you don't really need to draw them, but I quite like drawing them. Okay, so once you've done that, we're going to get our rubber. Get the rubber. So get your eraser. Mine's just 2 bits because I'm drawing with a pen. And it's not ideal, 2x, because we can't colour in really. But I'm just showing you for this. Right. Onion's looking good. Now the orange is in front of the onion. I don't think I've ever said that out loud before, so it kind of sounds funny, doesn't it? Like a cartoon character name for some reason it reminds me. So you got your onion there, you got your orange or clementine there. Now this is the orange, this is the onion. Can you see that this is my onion and it's behind the orange? This is my orange. Do you know, I could easily show you now, couldn't I? So there's your orange, there's your onion, it's going behind it. It's like that, isn't it, at the moment? It's going behind. If it was going to go in front, you'd draw more of the onion. It's hard to understand sometimes, but I think you know what I mean. And now we've got the mushroom. I love mushrooms. Some people do not like mushrooms, but I do like a mushroom. So what we're going to do is, let's draw it so it's like that, because it's quite fun. We're going to draw it here. Now again, you can just draw all of it if it helps, but I'm just going to draw a little bit. And then what you want to do is do somewhere in it, draw a shape that looks a little bit like a plate. And then do 2 lines down. I've done a mushroom actually. Where is it? I think I sold it. Oh, it's such a cool mushroom, honestly. I was really proud of it. I might try and find it for you. Anyway, so then, and then once you've done that, you want to sort of do around it a wobbly line. I'm going to leave you to do this wobbly line, and I'm just going to quickly go to my shelf now. I want to find that mushroom picture because honestly, it's so good. It kind of blows myself away. You know when you like something and you think, wow. Bear with. I bet I can't find it now. but it was so good. I think, oh, there it is. Look at that. So there's my mushroom painting that I did. I turned them into cards and sold quite a few. I love a mushroom, and they taste good. So there's my mushroom. It's kind of like that, but not. Okay, right, now we've got that. Let's work out some shadow, because still life, you have to look at where the light comes from and where the shadow is. So I'm going to do my light's coming from there. So you could do a little arrow to show where your light's coming from. And then you want to make sure that all here is going to be light. So that means everything here is dark, because if you were to carry on the arrow, there would be dark. So you're going to do a shadow of the mushroom. This is going to be dark as well. So shadow of the onion, and pretty much shadow there. So all this is going to be a shadow. Might not be exactly like that, but that's going to be the shadow there. If it was coming this way, you'd have more of a shadow there. If it was coming that way, you'd have a shadow there. So we're saying a shadow here. Now, I am going to use coloured pencils, because I think most of you probably have those. Mine are watercolour, but you could just do any colour. I've lost the black. Do you know what? Last time I lost the black paint and pastel. Never mind. So annoying when you lose something out of a pack, isn't it? Because what I've got are these. They're watercolour, they're like my favourite, but I've lost a black. But they're my watercolour. So I'm going to get, for the red onion, if it's not red, you're going to get orange and yellow perhaps, but I'm going to get red and purple. And I'm going to look at where my light is. It's hard to tell here because I've got a superficial light, like not real light. So we're going to draw a shape, a line. So all here, you can draw this in yellow if it's white onion, or red if it's a red onion. So all here is going to be very, very light. All here is going to be super dark. So this is super dark. Now, I'm going to do watercolour pencil because I want to show what it looks like when you blend. But what you want to do is when you colour in, don't colour this way, colour the way that is the actual vegetable. So it's coming up like this, the lines, isn't it? So you want to actually follow those lines and colour up. I'm doing it quite quick, but you're going to take your time. So this is like super, this is my super dark. I keep having to sharpen them. That's a good thing about chalk, you don't just sharpen them. Okay, so I have a bit of red here. So you can decide, you can say, I'm going to have some red, I'm going to have some, I don't want it stripy, so I'm going to do a bit of red. The red's very close to the purple with the colour, and I can even go over some of the purple. So I'm colouring it all in. You don't have to colour everything. I probably might just do it now. Ooh, hurt your arm when you colour a lot. So I'm colouring away. If you haven't got watercolour pencil, you just do the lightest version of the purple or the red. So of these two, I could do this one or that one, but I just don't press hard. So can you see that this, you can't tell where my red begins and where it ends? It just blends. And what I mean by that is if you have dark and then you suddenly stop like that, it's very sudden, isn't it? It's very abrupt. But if you were to carry on and just keep pressing lighter and lighter and lighter, it blends in. Can you see? It's a really nice look, so you can practice doing that. Right, once you've done that, if you have water, awesome. But if they're not watercolour pencils, do not put water on them. But mine are watercolour, and it just looks so cool. It just blends. So I've got a lot on there. Whew. It's quite watery. I just want to move it to you so you can see. Oh, look at that. Now, because of my Tipp-Ex, it's not blending in. Can you see it looks rounded? I think you can, can't you? Now, when you get to the light bit, this has to be super light to show difference. So it's going to be just light like that. There's a lot of water on mine. Woo! Now, you can put the detail when it's dry, but next we're going to do the orange or clementine. So I'm taking an orange. Let's have a look at it. It's orange and, okay, let's say yellow. Orange and yellow. So what we want to do is the light is still here. So it's yellow. I'm going to do all yellow there. This is a rounded object. So you can do it all the way round. You can do it that way or that way, but I quite like this way. It's getting a bit messy because of my water. Now you're going to take your time for this, don't rush it because it will be such a shame. Such a shame. Orange. I don't know if you can hear the music. It's quite relaxing. Now I'm going over some of the yellow. Just some. Then when we get to here, don't really want to do too much. We're going to just press lightly. You almost float over as though you're not doing anything. Bit more orange there. Done that super fast. But you take your time. You've got all the time in the world. Which is an unusual thing, isn't it, to say? Because normally you've only got a certain amount of time in classes. Now you can keep that as it is. If you haven't got watercolour, you could blend it in more by just getting the orange and just not pressing as hard. Don't press as hard. A bit like what I showed you on there. Then, now this bit's quite light in here. But I like the idea of getting the orange, and doing those bits. Okay. Right, let's go. If you've got watercolour, awesome. If not, do not worry. You could do the lighter one first, it helps. That's certainly not that light, is it? This is probably... The yellow's more light, but that's fine. You want most of it to be orange anyway. Good thing about fruit is it's not all one colour. Now can you see my Tipp-Ex has obviously ruined the picture slightly, but you won't be having Tipp-Ex, so you'll be fine. Okay, so there is my clementine. Now the mushroom's slightly different. The mushroom you're going to have, where's my picture? The mushroom you're going to have black, which I don't have, which is wonderful. It's all going fruitily well, which I don't know if it's... you want brown? I would go with just brown, and I've got this other colour. Okay, let's see what we can do. So I don't have black, I might have to use paint, but you're going to use water, you're going to use pencil. So you're going to go round, just around the lines, because most of the mushroom's white. You've got a little bobbly bit in there. So go around like that. Just trying to look at the one I've done. You basically colour in around the lines, not inside. Should got a bit of that onion. You could add loads more detail with this. Mine's just a half-hour workshop really that you can go away and literally put more detail in and spend probably another half hour, maybe even 2 hours of doing art. Just putting that onion thing there. Okay guys, right, black. Now I do not have black. I don't know why I seem to... So I've got black paint, but you want a black pencil. It's going to be all here. See better? This is my black. It's going to go all in there. Not all mushrooms have. black insides. I think my one doesn't actually, it's got white, but I like doing black because it shows up more. Okay, once you've coloured in that black, sorry, just saw something I didn't like. Once you've coloured in the black, you're going to get, if you've got watercolour pencil, you just put water, which I'll do in a minute, but if not, you're just going to shade a bit more. So you're going to go over it, but you're not going to, you're going to do this. So instead of doing, I've finished, you're going to go, and then as you get towards the middle, it's going to go lighter. Have a go at doing it, try and do it, because that's your darkest, that's your lightest. So you press hard, press less, press less, press less, press less, and that's what you want to do around the edge. But I'm going to do it by putting the water, because that means dark around the edge, and it gets lighter. It's nice to leave some bits white, but if it doesn't look right, don't worry. Don't worry. I think the trick is do not worry ultimately, it's okay. It's okay if you don't like something. Some people do not like drawing still lifes, some people don't like drawing animals, and it's okay. It's a good opportunity for you to practice, see what you love drawing, see what you don't like drawing. If you don't like it or you find it hard, maybe practice a bit more. I really did not like whatsoever drawing landscapes, and I now paint for a living doing landscapes. So you just never know what you could start liking if you pushed yourself a little bit more and went beyond your comfort zone. Now the shadow is normally dark, so I don't have my watercolour pencil black and I don't have a normal pencil, so I'm going to paint it black, but you want to colour it in a dark brown or a black. And you can stop at the edges. Doesn't matter if it doesn't blend in, but you want a shadow, Okay. Now the shadow is always darker when you get to the actual vegetable or the object, so it would be super, super dark there. Press harder here and press lighter as you go away from the object. But that's, my mushroom's looking a little bit sad, isn't it? Once you've done that, you can say to yourself, right, I want to do those details now. Depends if you want to add detail. I could add detail with chalk pastel, I could add detail with oil pastel, which is kind of cool to use, or I could just add detail with my ink black pen. It doesn't matter. Detail is just going over things. So I've got this pen. I could literally go over things. Can't really see it here because it's felt tip. But you could go over with felt tip if you wanted to. Then you could add this. Got to be super careful. It's dry though. It's got to be dry if you do the water because it will ruin the felt tip. So you start adding some shade in there. So you can start adding things to make it look, I quite like that look where it looks kind of cartoony. So you could do shadow with the orange there, which I think I've touched some wet in my, I think I've made my felt tip run out. Never mind. So you want to add those detail bits in. You know, if you've got spots here and you've got bits there, then you can add that in. I sometimes like to think, right, my name's Emmylou, don't forget that one, my light's just gone out, so Emmylou, so you could do your initials there, so I could do like almost a graffiti, I could have, so that'll be still life, which are these three objects, and then you could do graffiti writing behind it. You can always mix and match. So if someone says to you, do a portrait, you could do a portrait, but then you could add a still life with the portrait, make the nose a mushroom or something. Or you could do a landscape with graffiti and a big apple in it. It could be surrealism, which means it's not real. So there's my name. Whoa, there's a Y that's gone. slightly. So Mother's Day is coming up, isn't it? If you have a mum, you could maybe do a card for them. Would be really cool, wouldn't it? No, Mother's Day's not coming up because it's gone now. Because the video's Tuesday. Never mind. Well, you know what? Mother's Day's every day, so you could do a Mother's Day, or a Father's Day, or a Carer's Day, or your Self Day, and paint yourself a picture. But with this, you could just have a go at bright colours. It's just so fun to have the freedom to create whatever you want. Nothing's wrong, so it doesn't matter. It just simply doesn't matter. If you've got A4 paper, which this is what I normally use if I'm doodling, so you don't need big paper, so just this. You get it out of the photocopy, your parents probably have it. So this with a pencil or an ink pen is completely fine. You don't need anything special to do art. It's all about expressing yourself and just having fun. So there's my name, and behind my name I could say to myself, I'm going to make patterns. Because there was an artist, Georges Braque, who, it was Georges Braque, I'll have to double check that for you, but he did cubist, so it's almost like cubes. He separated his still life into cubes and did all different colours behind it, and it looked really, really good. So whatever you do, stick with it. If you get annoyed, don't worry, just have a break and come back to it. Never throw it away, because it's just a shame. That's what my teachers taught me as well. Never throw it away, but I did want to. Definitely wanted to. At some points that I didn't like when I did my work. So just lots of different colours. If you love Pac-Man, or you love Minecraft, or you love whatever games you're playing, you could do the things in the background. So you could draw lots of Pac-Mans. You could draw lots of emojis. You could do anything you like. So yeah, have a bit of fun with that. Let me know what you come up with. Send me your finished artwork, and I will see you tomorrow. I think we'll do something to do with... Be nice to draw a penguin. Let's do a penguin with an igloo. Some of you have already done that in my lesson, but let's do it again, and we can add other things in it. We could do nice icebergs. That would be really cool. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have fun, enjoy, and just experiment. Just do something that's just enjoyable for you. Speak to you soon. Mwah.